How's it going, pilots? This is Pete with BananaHobby.com. I am bringing you guys the first of a few instructional videos that I'll be filming for you guys here, because I've been having quite a few of the same questions asked to me several times, and I'm going to come up with a series of instructional videos, perhaps DVDs, I'm not sure yet, about some general FAQ questions and things like that, and startup with model aircrafts and RC products in general, in the whole ball game. Everything, all these rules basically apply to helicopters, cars, boats, and airplanes and jets. Everything. These lists right here that I'm going to give you are basic instructional from the beginner and on up to the get-go process, to make sure the processes are done correctly, so that you guys can enjoy your time with your model product that you guys got from us better, I guess you can say. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Number one on the list, okay, is regardless of any type of RC product, okay, here we have the eSky Dolphin coaxial helicopter. Very good example. One of our hottest sellers. Okay, a lot of guys are plugging in the battery first, turning on their transmitter and going, man, what's going on? I'm not getting a connection. Or they're plugging in their battery to their helicopter. You know, they have it set down here. For example, like the Ninja or something here. They plug in their helicopter, they connect the battery to it, and then all of a sudden, the helicopter goes berserk. Okay, it shoots straight up into the ceiling, into the gray blue yonder, and it crashes. Okay, and then they call me and they say, man, what happened? You know, I plugged in the helicopter to it, and to the battery, and it went crazy. Very simple explanation, guys. Basically, you got to think of it this way. Okay, this is a helicopter. The receiver in it is receiving a signal from the transmitter. Okay, if you do not power on the transmitter first, and you go to connect a helicopter or your boat, your RC car, or your airplane, and you don't have your transmitter turned on, your controller turned on first, okay, you go to plug it in, it can receive any kind of stray signal, meaning any signal coming from anywhere else. Some guy down the street playing with his remote control car, 2.4 gigahertz phone somewhere else, you never know. Any signal could affect the helicopter because it's not picking up a direct signal from what it's made to pick up the signal from, which is the transmitter. In that case, you plug it in, it goes crazy. It goes straight through the roof. Okay, long story short, the process you want to do is always, 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 in remote control, does not matter. Car, helicopter, airplane, jet, boat, doesn't matter. Okay, first thing you do is you turn on your transmitter, which is this. This is your handheld transmitter, your controller. It may look different if you have a boat and car and stuff like that, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so what you want to do first is you power on your transmitter. Okay, so now there's a signal going from your transmitter to whatever object that you're turning on with. That it's only going to bind with your own object, your own product. Okay, so first you turn this on. Okay, and then what you do after you turn on the transmitter is now you are safe to apply power to your helicopter or your boat or your car or your airplane. Okay, and now what you do is, in this case here, like the eSky, okay, with a helicopter, it's very, very important that when you go to connect the battery power, once you do connect it, okay, oh, you know what, let me back up, I forgot to tell you here. Before you turn on the transmitter, okay, you want to always make sure the throttle, okay, this doesn't apply to boats, this is helicopters and airplanes basically right now. Make sure your throttle stick is always to the lowest position. If it's 1-2 clicks up from this position here, it will not bind, it will not initiate correctly, and then you won't have throttle power. So you make sure this is down to the lowest position, okay, and then make sure your trim right here, which is this piece here, this little tab that goes up and down, make sure this is pressed down to the lowest position as well. So this down low, you're ready to go. Turn on the transmitter, okay. Now what we do is we go ahead and apply power to the helicopter. On a helicopter, it's very, very important that when you do apply power to it, you see a little light in there, you let it sit. After you apply power to it, you let it sit for 3 to 5 seconds. And the reason being is the helicopters have a gyro system in it. The gyro and the ESC, the electronic speed control, they have to initialize. If there's any kind of erratical movement, it will not initialize. You'll get a blinking red light or a blinking green light. Okay, when the light goes solid, you're ready to go. And this applies for basically all the helicopters. Even if you got the Ninja 400 here, once you plug it in, the gyro indicator light on it will turn red. If you move it around, that red light will not initialize. It will keep blinking. Okay, if it keeps blinking, that means the gyro did not initialize correctly. Either that you need to unplug it, plug it back in let it sit there until that light turns solid red, like on the Ninja 450. That applies for all the higher end helicopters too. So now, once that is solid and you sit there for a little while, it's binded, it's communicating with the helicopter, and now you have full control over everything. Okay, and now you don't have the crazy zoom up, go through the ceiling kind of effect. And now you got your throttle, and you're ready to go here. And see, this is basically it. I can basically fly this thing in my garage right now. And this is one-handed flying here, okay? Just wanted to give you guys an idea, okay, of what to do as far as startup is concerned. Always remember that. Okay, now, on the power down issue, when you go to turn it off, always, 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 remember this. Remember this rule of thumb. Transmitter on first, turn the helicopter on second. When you go to shut it off, unplug the power to your helicopter first, okay? Why? Because if you turn your radio off, it's going to pick up stray signals again, and it may go through the roof. So here we go. Now you go to unplug it, unplug your helicopter, or your airplane, and then go ahead and shut your transmitter off, okay? Very, very simple, guys. Rule of thumb, remember that. Transmitter on first, helicopter on second. When you go to shut it off, helicopter off first, transmitter off second, okay? When you go to turn it on, remember, throttle stick to the lowest position, trim down to the lowest position, and that'll eliminate a lot of your headaches about why the rotors are not spinning and things like that, okay? So that's your rule of thumb there. That applies to airplanes as well, okay? Here's my airplane radio. Basically, same thing. Got to keep in mind that your throttle stick always to the lowest position. If you go to plug it in and your speed control doesn't go doo-doo-doo or make any kind of beeps or like that, or it makes a erratic fast beep, that just means that it's a safety function that you don't cut your fingers off. That means that your throttle is not at the lowest position. So set your throttle down all the way low, shut the airplane off, shut the transmitter off, throttle down low, trim down low, and then turn the transmitter on, plug in your ESC to your battery power source, and you're ready to go. And in that case, if it still doesn't work and it's still beeping or anything like that, there could be a throttle. It could be a throttle channel reversing issue where you go to the throttle channel on your transmitter and you flip the switch and then you try it again. Unplug everything, of course, and then try it again. When it gets into that field of it, best to just give me a call and I'll walk you guys through it. And the remainder of it, I'm going to talk about LiPo safety. Just remember, guys, lithium polymer batteries are very unstable. Not meaning that they're going to blow up or anything like that, just out of nowhere. They don't do that. You just got to keep in mind that when you charge these things, don't charge it unattended. Keep an eye on it. Make sure that everything is going good. You can feel it from time to time. Make sure it's not overcharging. If it feels warm when you're charging it, that is not normal for a lithium polymer battery. For nickel metal hydride, they're called NiMH cells that you guys may get in a blue shrink wrapping or a green shrink wrapping. Those are all going to be okay when it gets warm. These right here, and then also just don't charge these things and then go out to dinner and like that. Just keep an eye on it. And these things, you don't want to over discharge them. Whatever the item might be, you don't want to fly it, you don't want to run it until it's running out of power. That way it just cuts the lifespan of these cells. So you want to run it sparingly, maybe just 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes depending on the item. And then once you're done running it, pull it off. Don't run it until it's completely dead, okay? Lithium polymer, don't do that. And then pull it off, let it cool down, and then you can throw it back on the charger. And then you're ready to go here. And then as far as a lot of the other objects, batteries that we sell, I forgot to get one here. The nickel metal hydride cells are the green cells. They're individual cells. Those you can charge and then discharge it completely and it doesn't matter. Those cells are going to be fine. Okay, those come in a little green shrink wrap or yellow shrink wrap or blue. Individual cells, those are fine. Okay, those, and then you can just plug right back on and charge it. Aside from that, that's your basic startup as far as radio control is concerned. What to do in the first steps and what to look for if something's going wrong with it. The following ones are going to be coming up. If you guys have any ideas of what kind of videos you want to see as far as instructions concerned, shoot me an email, peter@bananahobby.com. I'll be more than happy to shoot a video for you guys about instructions, stuff like that. So thanks for checking out this instructional portion of it, and we'll see you guys with product reviews and flight reviews. This is Pete with bananahobby.com. See you guys later.